Right, Scott. Well, we finish off on something that I'm actually really disappointed I didn't get to see because it disappeared out of cinemas almost immediately. And that's a new Armando Iannucci film. Now, tell us, did it deserve to disappear out of films almost immediately? I'm assuming no.
No, of course not. The personal history of David Copperfield, and I suppose I should perhaps feel ashamed that I've not read David Copperfield, or to be honest, much of the Dickens works, but life is short, and I feel I've pretty much got the gist. Being poor is awful, and rich people are awful.
And the plot of Great Expectations, probably considered his best work, is really, really dumb, so you may as well avoid it.
Yeah. Anyway, rich people being awful is pretty much the gist of his output, right? It's certainly one of the central themes of Armando Iannucci's adaptation, in which Dev Patel's David Copperfield narrates his own journey through life in Victorian times, growing up happily, played as a nipper by Chirag Varsani, in a well-off family until his widowed mother, Morfydd Clark's Clara Copperfield, marries the outright evil Mr. Murdstone, Darren Boyd, who before long packs him off to London to toil in his bottling factory under, well, Dickensian conditions. There he toils for years, lodging with the somewhat sketchy Mr. Macabre, Peter Capaldi, and his family before making a break for freedom after being informed some weeks after the funeral that his mother has passed away. So he heads cross-country to his only surviving relative's gaff, his Aunt Betsy Trotswood, Tilda Swinton's home, meeting the lodger, the eccentric Mr. Dick, played by Hugh Laurie, and eccentric in this case being the ways that we'd have poorer people being lobotomised, but in this case can be largely solved, as it happens, by some prescription kite flying. Betsy eventually agrees to fund David's education, so he's sent to a boarding school where he'll become friends with the dashing yet troubled James Steerforth and Ewan Bernard. However, their taunting of Ben Wishaw's Uriah Heep will come back to bite them as he goes on to make Copperfield's later young adult life miserable as he plots to take over Betsy's lawyer's practice, swindle them out of money, leveraging Benedict Wong's Mr. Wickfield's alcoholism and moving in on Copperfield's ultimate love interest, Agnes Wickfield, played by Rosalind Elizar. And, well, that's maybe the half of it and half of the important characters, and from what I can gather, the entirety of the film is maybe the half of the novel, and there's more than a few changes in locations, timing, and ultimate character fate. Now, that may annoy purists, and I'm sure the colourblind casting will annoy the usual knuckle-draggers, but for a more gentle audience, there's an awful lot to like in here. It's a beautiful looking period drama in a way I suppose they all tend to be, but the real attraction here is the comedy, which this delivers bigly. It has the best words, all the best words, and dear lord, these performances. It seems very unfair to single any one out, as it's such a great ensemble performance, but if you don't come out of this thinking that Peter Capaldi is the best thing since sliced bread, there's something wrong with you, although, to be fair, you should have had that opinion going into it. Do try to keep up. Dev Patel does a great job of anchoring things, and where required providing a straight man for the more outlandish characters to bounce off, and well, everyone else here is really great too. Look, I don't think there's an awful lot of point in me prattling on much more about it, other than to say that I found it a very funny and often very touching story. It is immaculately produced and therefore comes very highly recommended. After being slightly disappointed with the death of Stalin, this is, again, just Iannucci firing on all cylinders again. Really, really funny. Highly enjoyed it. Not so sure why it's vanished from UK cinemas so quickly. Don't know if it seemed to be successful enough in terms of box office from when I checked last time. It's not quite opened in America yet. I think that's coming next month, so hopefully it'll recover a bit more there, but it certainly deserves an awful lot of success. It's really good. I highly recommend checking it out at your earliest available opportunity.
Currently it's running, according to Wikipedia, fond of all knowledge, never wrong, $6.56 million box office and a budget of 15.6, but if it's only been in the UK so far, that's not so bad actually.
Yeah.
Yes, I am miffed. Miffed, I say, to not being able to see this and having to wait now for a DVD or Blu-ray release, because I really want to see this because Armando Iannucci basically can do no wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like... He's either been in or produced or written like most of the best British comedy in the past, 30 odd years. What year is this? 40 maybe.
Yeah, or at least someone who's worked with him and maybe rubbed something off on theirs. And he's had his effects across the pond as well, because Veep's amazing.
Yes.
So yeah, miffed. Thoroughly miffed, Scott.
It's something to look forward to. So.
There is that. Perhaps when I finally catch up with that, I'll drop a few sentences into one of our future episodes to Give you my obviously hotly anticipated thoughts on it as well.